You were becoming aware of something that already existed, that you guys were already together and happy. Because if you guys were in the relationship with your person, you would always think about your person, but the thoughts wouldn't be from this middle lack energy. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Career Union. I want to talk about consistency today and how imperative it is for you to be able to experience the things, whatever it is, that you truly desire in your heart and soul. Consistency is truly the key because when you're consistent in trusting and embodying who you truly are deep down inside, it's not that you're becoming something that you weren't before. It's that before you didn't realize who you truly are. So when you go through this awakening process and you begin to understand that your entire reality is reflecting back to you what you believe about yourself, love, other people in your reality, different types of people, money, your relationship with money, all of that. When you're consistent, it is the key. And in just in the past week alone, happy Saturday, today's Saturday, and I'm in my comfy clothes because I'm going to be doing some projects around the house today. So anyway, I've had a few clients just in the past week who, for the past year, they've been binging my free lessons. If you go to the playlists, specific person playlists, for example, they've been binging those videos and actually applying what I'm teaching. And I was told by 3 different clients just in the past week that because of the free lessons, the teachings, and being consistent, they are now seeing a huge difference in the dynamic between them and their specific person. Okay. So consistency is truly a key. And this means in any direction, because if you're consistently angry and upset and blaming and shaming yourself or your mirror soul, and if you and your mirror soul are one, which you are, then what do you think if you're embodying that anger and frustration and all of these lower level emotions? You're in a lower level of consciousness, by the way, which means you're in separation mode. And if you are, then that means that you don't realize that you are one with God, divine intelligence, infinite intelligence, source, creator, whatever you want to label that. Okay. So back to this though. But if you're feeling those things, what would your mirror soul be feeling? And why would you think if you're constantly and consistently blaming them, shaming yourself, angry with yourself, regretting the things that you said or did, blaming, upset, angry, and thinking in this energy towards yourself and towards your person, what would your mirror soul be feeling towards you or towards themselves if you're feeling these things towards yourself and towards them? Do you think that that would be the energy that would uh, bring them back into your reality? They're already there. They haven't gone anywhere. But to have the physical experience, is that what you want to be consistently ruminating on and thinking about and feeling? If you are, then that just means that you are in separation consciousness, which means that you aren't truly realizing that you and your mirror soul are one. And you're also, if you're in those lower level emotions, which is normal, it's part of being human. I'm not saying to not feel those. That's not what I'm saying, but please hear what I'm saying. If you're consistently aware and dominantly in this way of being, embodying this is who you are and who you believe that they are, then how could you expect to be in the happy, loving, secure relationship where there will be challenges, but you guys actually overcome it together because you love each other deeply and the love is mutual and it's equal? Okay. So if you want somebody to be committed to you and choose you and love you and prioritize you, then you have to have a super healthy boundary with yourself and a super healthy mental diet so you can become more of the observer in yourself, be honest with yourself, and be aware of yourself when you're sensing that you're starting to do these things that I described earlier. Also, if you're consistently seeking for evidence outside of you instead of turning within and trusting that the desire itself means that it's already done, it's already created, because that is what the desire is. The desire is, you wouldn't have the desire so deep within you unless that existed already. When you first became aware of the desire for your person, you were becoming aware of something that already existed, that you guys were already together and happy. So, this part here that you're going through, you're just evolving, you're just awakening. This is just the moment for you to release and let go of the old stories, the old circumstances of your life, the root causes of why you believe that you're not lovable, not enough, too much, whatever your particular story is from when you were growing up. But that's not who you are now. That's not who you are anymore. So it's important for you to let the root cause of the fear of love, intimacy, commitment, and being literally your birthright is to be loved, cherished, adored, successful in a healthy, loving relationship. And I know that might seem foreign to you because you haven't experienced it, but that doesn't mean that that you are not already that, because you wouldn't have the desire. Again, we can just keep going in circles with this. But if you're consistently in lack of that and in sadness and anger and frustration, guilt, shame, blame, and all of that, then you're not actually in flow. You're not actually being who you truly are. You're being your past self, and you're allowing your ego and your reality to control you. You are taking all of the power of pure, divine, unconditional love. That that is who you actually are. That's your divine nature. That's your creator created you in its exact image. So you are that. So you're pure. You're pure perfection. You're pure love. You're pure power. You're pure energy. If you are doing these things that I described earlier, which is, by the way, a normal part of the process of a lot of people when they're awakening. So don't beat yourself up. This isn't a video doing this to you. This is just, I just want this it's a public service announcement. You're essentially taking all of your power from the creator. You're taking all of that power and you're saying, here, and you're handing it out to everything outside of you. But that's the exact opposite thing that you want to do. Instead, you trust the seeds that were planted in the core of you, in your soul, by your creator. I and my father are one, but my father's greater than I. When every video, no matter what trending topic, no matter what words are being used, no matter what it is, in everything across the board, it's a matter of embodying, trusting, knowing that it's done, and knowing that the how and the when is not up to you. So if the how and the when is not up to you, your personality, your ego, then what is handling the how and the when? So that's what you need to surrender to, and that's what you need to trust in. And so it doesn't matter whether it's related to your mirror soul, your specific person, or money, health, success, a new invention, a new business, whatever you want to be. Oh, my little girl is up on the sofa. That's already done. It's like precognition. You picked up on something that already existed. All time, past, present, future, exist in the now moment. So if you continue to ruminate on what happened previously with your person, you're essentially not realizing that all of your power is now and there only is now. And so if you're also projecting into the future, and this is a subtle nuance that I've brought up with a good number of clients, if you're projecting into the future of just an hour from today, an hour from now, a minute from now, a week from now, their birthday's coming up. Should I stop? You're in the now moment, you're with them on their birthday. The holidays are coming up. What if stop? You are celebrating the holidays together now. Okay. So that's a subtle nuance. When you catch yourself, well, what if this or that? And you're thinking of, should I do this or that? Should I reach out? If you want to reach out on the holidays, if you want to reach out on their birthday or whatever, do it if you're in alignment. But if you're not in alignment and you're doing it just because you think you should, do not do it. Instead, wake up in each other's arms on the morning of that day, whatever it is, and start kissing and snuggling and wishing them a happy birthday and them telling you, you are my gift. You are my gift from the universe, from God. And I feel like the luckiest person alive to be able to love you. Thank you. You're such a gift to me. Okay? So consistency is a key. I have a funny story that just came in my head that I'm going to share with you, just showing how consistent your reality is always reflecting you back to you. I was using an example with a good number of clients, I don't know, a few weeks back, just in terms of the example was talking about how in your life, you don't want to be doing things for others to consistently show your value or worth, because the moment that you take that kind of action with anyone, you are automatically screaming, saying, I am not worthy. I have to prove myself. And that doesn't mean that you don't know as an adult that you are good enough, that you're lovable, that you're the whole package. It is just potentially an energy that's active in you from when you were something happened growing up where you weren't chosen, you didn't believe back then you were enough, and maybe that energy is a little active within you. Okay, that's all. But so the example I was giving to them, I was using like this analogy. If you were at a supermarket and there was an adorable little like 95-year-old woman, and she dropped something, you would run to help her because you would want to help her because it feels good to help somebody when they're in need. But if there was a certain circumstance, whatever it was, a situation where you saw that this adorable 95-year-old lady dropped something, but there was just a situation in the moment that you couldn't. And then you looked up and you noticed that people were looking at you, looking at them, and they were giving you this sneer, like judging you. And then you said, oh, I better help because to prove to people that I'm good enough, then you shouldn't take that you shouldn't take that action to help. So I kept using that as an example over and over again with my clients. And because I'm such a feeling, I have a lot of passion and feeling in me, and I'm very sensitive. I think whenever I was giving them that example, I kept seeing, I think in my mind's eye, myself at the supermarket and the little old lady drops something and I go to help her, wanting to help her out of wholeness, not out of needing to prove that I'm a good person. So what ended up happening was, because I was consistently in my mind's eye kind of experiencing that with just using it as example with my clients. That's why I'm really careful now what I talk about with a lot of passion, even in my videos. What ended up happening one evening, I went out to my favorite little market that I told you guys about, how I completely shifted into an entirely different reality where everybody in the market was amazing, and where I had a negative manifestation initially, but I changed it because I changed myself. So now I go to that market. I go almost every night after work, and I really love it. It's such an awesome store. I I go there now in reality after having used this example so much. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, three or four, I don't know how old they were, but they were probably up there in around that age. They were just so sweet with me and like really coming towards me and smiling and talking to me. And at first I was like, this is different. Like this is a different manifestation. What? And I hadn't made the connection. And then I went to another store, and this is where I knew why it was happening. I'm in line again, different store, another, an elderly lady comes walking in, and she's smiling and she says hi. And then all of a sudden, I feel a hand on my neck, and I feel somebody pulling my sweatshirt down, and I turn around kind of in like surprised, like what's going on? And it's another adorable elderly lady saying, "Oh, honey, let me look at this tattoo you have," because they can see the tattoo I have. It's a symbol of love, um, right there on kind of below at my neckline on the back. And so then I realized when I thought about it, I'm like, oh, I manifested this because my reality is reflecting something I was being consistent with. I was consistently using this as an example, but with because it was a kind of a funny example. So I was feeling into it, and in my mind's eye, I was kind of seeing it happen. So I'm putting all of this love out onto the screen of consciousness to all of the infinite realities. And then with all of those infinite potential realities in the quantum field, I continually and consistently selected a kind of loving little dynamic between me and these adorable elderly ladies. So anyway, it's like that with everything. It's who you are being. It's your identity. It's who you think you are. It's your conception of yourself and love and your conception and who you believe your person is. What did Neville Goddard say? So a lot of you guys have the story that your mirror soul loves you deeply, but that you believe that you attach all of these labels and conditions onto them, and that makes it a story and a circumstance that it makes them hard to trust in you, to trust in the relationship. So Neville Goddard's in The Power of Awareness, he says, as well as yourself, affirm for others their or claim for others their divine inheritance. Stir them up into their highest confidence of themselves, and you will become their prophet and their healer in all relational dynamics. And even within the dynamic and the relationship, there's the healer and the healee. And this is just how part of how the mechanism of life works. So, for example, with you and your mirror soul, you think that you're the one healing them, but the lesson that they're teaching you is actually healing you. So it's this beautiful divine dynamic of the healer and the healee. But it doesn't mean that. So does this make sense what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get too deep into this topic. Affirm down below that you received that message, that you understand what I'm saying. You and your person are one already. You guys already were created to love each other before you were even born. Yesterday, I was looking at some text messages with me and my mirror soul. And one of the things, the text messages that I thought that I happened to end up seeing, it was based on a search. I wanted to see something in particular from like a few years back. But they said something like, we were one before we were ever born. And that's the truth. When you can feel your person within you have to realize that that's why it's so important for you to truly forgive, forget, and let go of the circumstance and to start consistently just thinking about the two of you in your best, highest divine, like in your divine nature and them in their highest power and them in their divine nature, seeing the two of you guys as confident, secure, because consistency is key. You need to consistently love yourself, love your person, choose yourself, choose your person, choose harmony, love, stability, safety, fun, happiness, new beautiful experiences and memories together, going through things together, and situations that come up literally bring you closer together. It tightens your bond. And so if you say in a comment below the time element again, and it's been so long, and why aren't I seeing results? I understand that they're just going through what everybody naturally does go through until they truly, actually, there's a moment that comes where it's like the light bulb goes off and you're like, oh, they're not separate from me. So I just need to pour love into myself and love into them and see us as already together. Truly just let go of the past, because the past was my fear back then. So that's all that it was. There's a moment that comes, and it will come for you. Whoever you are watching this, you will get to that. You will have that moment. And then suddenly everything can just happen. That's why it's so important for you not to, you need to maintain a healthy mental diet, that you're not consistently wondering anything past the moment now. You are in the relationship, happy, loved, secure, claimed. You're a priority now. And so to any of you that may, make those kinds of comments under videos, well, again, this isn't one of these videos. I'm just saying, please recognize your thought process and become more aware of yourself and be honest with yourself. Because if you are consistently making comments, with which some of you do, that's going, you're making a comment that is out of alignment with you embodying the loving, healthy, stable, secure, passionate, fun, wonderful life together with you and your person, with the home, the money that you guys deserve, happiness. If you are affirming through a comment that it's been so long, it's been this amount of time, it's been this and that, nothing's happening, you have to start to realize this is why you are consistently experiencing the lack, because you haven't consistently actually bought the pearl. You haven't gone all in and accepted that this is who you are. You are their love. You are their true love. You are their only love. You are literally all that they've ever wanted and dreamed of. And they know it. And they claimed you. And they love you. And they prioritize you. And you prioritize them. And you claim them. And you guys are constantly communicating with each other. There's consistency. There's constant communication. Why? Because you live together and you love each other. And that's what people do when they love each other. They communicate. They communicate consistently. And some days there's more communication than others. But no matter what you're doing, whether you're home or whether you're at work or whether you're off doing something like going shopping or something, you are always consistently aware that if you're home, maybe they're in the next room doing something. So you can feel that. If you're out doing something, going shopping, and they're not with you, you can sense and feel that they're home waiting for you. And then when you guys get home, you're going to cook together or have dinner together. You can sense that. When you're at work, I'm getting heated up. When you're at work and they're at work, if you're super busy and you don't have time to text each other, you're not going to freak out because you know that you guys are going to be home together. Maybe you work from home. Maybe the both of you work from home. So you're working and you're busy and you have all these projects and you have deadlines and you're diving into what you're doing because you love, hopefully, you love what you do for work. And you're aware that they're working on something too. So you're not going to be upset if while you're working, you're not hearing from them. You can sense that they are working and that they're also thinking about you also. Okay? So try to live from the end more all throughout the day. Because if you guys were in the relationship with your person, you would always think about your person, but the thoughts wouldn't be from this middle lack energy. And it would be more of, sometimes there would be ups and downs. Some days you would be like super excited because you guys, maybe you had a beautiful, intimate morning and you just like on cloud nine. And then maybe a couple days you're tired, they're tired. Maybe somebody has a little cold or something. Maybe you're not in the mood, and so there's going to be ups and downs because that's part of life and being human. You're human. You're going to have ups and downs and emotions. But as far as the relationship goes, you have an awareness that you are claimed, that you are secure, that they do love you. So you want to embody that. Okay. So anyway, if you need my help, obviously just reach out. Please affirm down below that you have received this message, that you know and understand that you and your mirror soul are one and that they love you as deeply as you love them. Reach out to me if you need me. I love you. I hope this helped. Have an amazing weekend. Bye.